good afternoon. This is Dennis Wilborn, the Active Trend Trader. If you're just joining us, we'll be right online. There we go. Hey, Mike Neely, how you doing? Glad to see you. And so let's get going. Well, I don't know about you, but I was surprised with what's going on in the market today. It partly may be just basically that the news out of Georgia, where it appears that the Democrats have picked up the 2 seats in Georgia, which will basically make the Senate a tied ball game, 50-50, and any all ties will be broken by the new, what appears to be the new vice president, which could be very interesting. So what does that mean? So it means that basically whatever the agenda of the Biden administration, whatever the agenda is, they can basically force feed it through on the American people and get it through both the House and the Senate. So what does that mean to us? The initial reaction on the market, that's where I want to focus. This is not about the political side, but on the initial reaction by the market is quite interesting. With the news out of the way, the S&P and the Russell both rallied. Now, what's very interesting now that we're moving into the second, the last hour of the day, what's very interesting is that the rally seems to be fading. And so I come to you today, and we're going to be talking a little bit about a couple of different things. One, we've had some strong breakouts in some stocks, but then also we've had some fake-out breakouts, which could bode well on the side of a stronger or deeper pullback. We'll see. We'll take a look at the indexes. And so with on the radar, what we do is we take a look at the indexes, see what's going on with that. We take a look at any of the stocks that we've been trading. And today, one of our members did provide us a stock that he would like us to review, and that's ATVI. And I'm going to be running through that evaluation to see if ATVI deserves to be a stock that is on the radar. So let's get into today's analysis of the S&P and the indexes. Let me go. There we go. So what do we have going on here? What's very interesting is, and I'll just draw a line in here, this little line across here was broken. This was a breakout earlier this morning. Price actions open on the S&P down here, and then ran all the way up and broke through that. Now it is selling off. That's the piece of the puzzle that I'm really paying attention to as we move into the end of the day. How significant will that selling wick be? Price action moved up, they hit the highs, and then basically on the S&P, we had a breakout that's appearing like it's going to be a fake out. Now, it doesn't mean it can't go running back up tomorrow and bust through that. That is certainly something that could happen. But on first blush, what else has been going on with the S&Ps? See how we've been basically challenging the 20-day moving average and then the 34-day moving average? This is basically what I call the jackhammer effect. And as prices start to top out, if we're getting into topping motion, expect to see this jackhammer effect banging down on top of the moving averages. And what will happen then is what? It'll bang down on this one. And then, a little bit later, it'll bang down on the 50. And slowly but surely, these moving averages will kind of start to roll over, designating that a top is in place. Oftentimes people say in the world of technical analysis that topping is more of a process where the bottoms tend to be a single event to get your bottom actually in. But topping tends to be a process Why, why do you think that's so? Well, one of the main reasons for that is that people have, after they've bought in and the institutions have bought in, they let go of their positions very slowly. They want to hold on because several different things, but one, they want to be right in their analysis. And so that's what's going on here with the S&P. Let's jump over to now a question I had for everybody, and you can either, if you're watching this, the recording of it on YouTube or the recording of Instagram TV, or if you're joining us live, you can, just drop in a note there, and please give us a thumbs up and save this video for later once it comes up. But the question I have for you is, what do you do, or what do you use? What's either indicators or price action? Or moving averages? What do you use to tell you that you're on the right side of a trade or the proper side of the trend? Go ahead and drop a note in there and say, this is what I use. I appreciate it. And IWN, let's go back here to the Qs. Now the Qs was kind of the weak link today. The weak link this morning. And while, yes, it did power up higher, it basically gapped down and then powered back up into the 8-day moving average and now is rolling over. One of the things that we see is on on Monday of this week, this sell-off broke this trend line. We moved down below it, got a little bit lower, and now it appears as if we are coming to kiss the trend line goodbye with the anticipation that we will get a further sell-off. How far might we go in this sell-off? Well, it did test at the 34, which is just about, let's say, 305 level. If we bust through the 34, watch for a move all the way back down here to the 50-day moving average, which in a few days will be up at about 301. So $301. Cool, Mike. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll be looking at the comments here shortly. I'm glad I'm getting this coordination down where I can go, because I have to have Michelle's phone that I'm looking at to basically watch and see what the comments are, and then I can come back. I can't really respond back other than just to comment, but Mike says he's right if I agree with DWS. And so, cool. I guess, who's DWS, or what's DWS? So as we see, continuing on, the Qs are selling off. Let's take a look at this on a weekly chart. What do we have going on currently? Right now we have a bearish engulfing happening. The TSI is rolling over. The market forecast is rolling over. So the Qs, the NASDAQ, looks like it may take... Oh, okay. Thank you. It looks like it may, in fact, just, fall out, not fall out of the sky, but do into a more significant more significant pullback. I would lay on a Fibonacci, we can do that on a couple of different places. Let's take a fib from here. That level there up to the last high from last week, about there. And as you can see, we're already operating, we're right at the I can't see that. We're right at the 50% line where it bounced today. The 618 is down here where it bounced on Monday. And so it's in the magic fib box. We break out the bottom, that increases the probability that we're probably going to fall all the way down into a complete retracement. Of course, there's one thing in the way. The 50-day moving average could be the catcher in this case and stop the fall at that point. Until we get some good indication on the that momentum has shifted back up to the upside, I'll be looking to take downside trades on this. Again, anything up into the 8-day moving average, we get a close below the 20-day moving average. Look for any type of a pullback, pull up as a rally attempt, and then if the rally attempt fails, that's where I'd be doing some puts and that type of thing. The IWM. IWM was pretty impressive this morning, and actually is still kind of hanging in there. It gapped up significantly up to, and then broke out, and then ran up. It ran up at one point during the day. It was up about $10. Now, what's going to happen here? In order for this, we'll watch it through the end of the day. If we reverse back down and push back down towards this level here, what's our breakout level? Our breakout level is $201.18. If we move down towards that and close at approximately that level, that might give us an indication that, hey, we're going to do some more downside dancing to move on down. One of the things that's really interesting is just throw a fib on this last little move from high to low. And look where this thing went today. Just short of the 1618 extension, which is where we expect things to move, basically on a move on up. It's lingering about the 1272 right now. If we close back below that, could give us let's just say if the upper wick is longer than, it comes down more than halfway into today's total range, that would give us an indication that sellers were in control going forward. So that's what we've got going with IWM. Hey, let's jump right over really quickly. And I am going to, we basically have done a couple of trades. We're basically we're in 3 trades. PayPal. This is for the top 5, if you will. PayPal. PayPal basically gave us a nice little jump up this morning and now putting us a spinning top. We were in the trade from yesterday as it came down here and retested just above the 50, just above the 20. As long as we hold that, we're in pretty good shape. Our stop loss is actually down at just below this level here. So I'm going to go ahead and let this trade ride. Etsy was filled today. Etsy, and as you can see, Etsy's coming off right off the 34, filled down here at these lows, about 167 and some change, and now is trying to find a bottom and bounce up. Look to your left. What do you see? This is where support came in, and that's where we were planning the trade to get into this position. I would like to see the momentum on both the TSI and the market forecast turning up, and it just hasn't done that yet. Other one that we're currently long in is AMD. And AMD, again, flirting with support of an uptrending line. Came down and tested that today. We'll see if we bust back above this. Not quite a hammer in today's, but if we close above the 91.20 level, I would consider this to be a hammer. However, it would still be a close below the 820. So I would, our stop is just, really close below this level, the 89.46 level. And so that's where we'll be looking to, pull out that trade, or if we drop just slightly below the 50, that's what we're looking at. So hey, we got a stock request from Phil, and Phil brought up, and I'm glad he did. You still with us, Phil? Let's see if Phil can. Okay, Phil wants to take us to look at ATVI. That's Action TV, and I want to work through just immediately. I want to go really fast, but here's the way I look at a stock if it's the first time I've seen it. And one of the things I do is I want to find out fundamentally, is it a strong fundamental stock? And so what do I go to? Hopefully you can see that. Yes, you can. I go to this page on the IBD. I am a subscriber to IBD. I do not get any type of anything back from IBD. If anybody joins their, subscribes to them, it's just to let you know that. So what I look at first is how is the stock that I'm looking at, how does it look fundamentally. And I'll go here, I'll rate the stock. Let's see how your stock rates out, Phil. And then I'll pop up here, and as you can see, Activision shows up as 1. It is number 2 in the group. The group is publisher of interactive entertainment software. It has a composite rating of 97. The max you can get is 100. Anything above 95 is considered better than 95% of the other stocks. Then I roll down here, what about the industry group itself? There's 197 industry group. It ranks number. I don't want to see that. Go away. Well, poo. Let me go back to that. Well, rats. Anyway, what I do basically is just go back in there and I should be able to go. There we go. Yeah, it's not going to show me what it is, darn it. Anyway, it was 53 out of 197, so it's in the upper echelons of the industry group. So as far as that goes, once I have that determined, I'm going, okay, this passes the IBD fundamental test. Now I can say, okay, now what about the technical test? And that's where I step in because I'm a technical analyst. I do not like doing the, I do not personally like doing the fundamental analysis, and so what do? I hire the work out and let somebody else do it for me. So, Phil, what I'm seeing here is I had looked at this a little bit earlier today after you sent it in, and what I see is basically on this move from this low back here in November up until the high of just, what was it, the 31st, which was Thursday of last week, we're in the process of getting a nice pullback. I threw the Fibonacci's on there just to say, well, where do we expect it to go on a pullback? I would say that we would anticipate a strong pullback moving down here towards the 382, which happens to be right between the 34-day moving average. Let me highlight this for you. I'm looking at this little box right here, right around there, between what is the 34-day moving average there, and the 50-day moving average, which is there. So what I would do, Phil, is what I would be looking at is I would lay in an alert, just going below the 20. I would lay it, or maybe halfway between that and the 34, and another alert, just below the 34. Get rid of that, and once I'm looking for my TSI to continue to move down, and hopefully by the time it transitioned all the way over to here, that would basically give us a good opportunity to jump on a trade, and I'll be looking for my momentum to shift back around. So I like your stock. Just the question is, where the heck's it going to turn around, Phil? So where's that area of value? And I've highlighted a couple to you, the area of values, so you can say, okay, that's where I want to be watching this. And since this one made it on the radar, I'll be watching it too. And so any questions, Phil? I like it. So yeah, Mike on XY, ZYXI, and I'll just answer. This will be my last question because I want to keep these short. ZYXI, yeah, it took off like a scalded dog today, but look what happened. It got right in there into, up into past resistance, and it's selling off. So this is one of those that I'm going to treat where if it got get down to around 13.15 or 13.10, I'm going to be a buyer. I think there's enough open interest that I could actually do this with an option. However, it's not going to give me a lot of movement. I'll be looking at $1 to $1.10 on the movement. But if you stage it right, the other side of that is you can buy a 70 delta option on this puppy and not, you don't break the bank. So that's what I'm looking at. Again, I'm liking this, just buy the stock down here and put in you could actually put in the order right now. And just, I would say, put in the order and make it good for 2 weeks, and then it would cancel itself out. If it fills down here at 1310, I will put in a sell order. It will automatically generate a sell order for me to sell it at 1410 to 1415. And then wash, rinse, and repeat. So, okay. Hey, that's it for the day, guys. Again, let your friends know that we are doing these live. And I've tried to keep it to 15 minutes. We run a little bit longer today simply because we did a nice evaluation. If you have a stock you want us to evaluate, please do me a DM. If you're joining us on, if you're watching the video on YouTube, please hit the subscribe and the bell. Leave some comments. Give us a thumbs up. I know that a lot of us technical guys don't like doing those thumbs up things, but it does help the algorithm find us so that more people can see the videos. And then last but not least, if you're watching us on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but on Instagram, same thing there. And just give us a like and share the video with anybody who's interested in trading stocks and options. So until later, aloha, God bless everybody. Have a really great rest of this week, the first week in 2021. See ya.